makeup essentials you need in your kit. Now I'm going to be going through exactly what you need as an essential, why you need it, and then the best one as that specific product. So let's get started. Now the first one that you are going to need is a primer. A primer is going to really help to smooth out your skin. Now a primer is based on what you need. So what does your skin need? Does it need to be smoothed? Does it need something which is extra hydrating? Does it need something that's going to really help to control the oil, mattifying your skin? So a primer isn't just a primer for everyone. It's a case of like, it's a tailored product for your skin type. That's going to help to determine how the rest of your makeup looks. And it's also going to mean that your application could be a lot easier as well. It could be that you have normal skin and you honestly feel like you don't even need it, which is also fine. Now, my personal favorite is the Benefit POREfessional pore minimizing primer. This is great for my skin because it helps to mattify certain areas where I feel like I get a lot of oil production, and also it gives me a kind of smooth finish, and I feel like it actually does help to kind of keep the makeup looking fresh or fresher for longer. My next makeup essential is a concealer. That's really important because what that's going to do is help to give you coverage on areas that you need it. So for example, you might need a concealer to help to brighten darker areas on the face. It could be your dark circles. It could be that you have darkness around other areas on your face, like around the mouth or around the nose. It could be that you need it to help cover blemishes. So that's a really important essential, I think, for your kit, because it's just going to be able to help give you that extra push to get that flawless finish, because sometimes a foundation just doesn't cut it. You need that extra coverage. When it comes to a concealer, you can choose whatever kind of coverage you want. You could go for a heavy coverage, like a full coverage. You could go for a medium coverage. You could go for a sheer coverage. It really is about what is, again, tailored to the kind of look that you want or what you feel that you need. My personal favorite is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. The reason I love this concealer as an essential is because I feel like it actually gives me amazing coverage, super fluid and smooth, like creamy to be able to blend in, really easy to blend. It doesn't self-set too fast, so I feel like I can spend my time on it, or I can even sometimes use it as a foundation if I want, if I don't really want to use a foundation. I also feel like there's a lot in there, like I don't know if it is actually the same amount as a normal standard concealer, but it just seems a lot more. Like my Too Faced concealer lasts way longer than my Tarte Shape Tape, like way longer. I feel like you get a really decent amount. So, and I like the colors as well. I feel like it's ultra creamy, really easy to use, and I just hope that they never ever discontinue that concealer because it's just so good. My next makeup essential is a foundation. Now this is something that's going to give you that really nice veil of color all over. It's going to tie everything together in case you're using concealer beneath it, but also I do feel like you can use it on its own. So some foundations are so good at giving you the kind of coverage concealer would kind of give you. So it really is something that I feel like everyone should have in their kit. You should have a foundation because it's just something that is a very quick, easy way to get that uniform kind of like veil of color, a little bit of coverage there too. Depending on the type of foundation that you go for, it's gonna last pretty well too. The foundation that I personally love is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I just feel like if you're gonna have an essential in your kit and you're gonna have a foundation, this is the foundation I would go for, because I feel like it gives you that kind of really nice healthy skin look. Like I do feel like whenever I wear this foundation, my skin looks so good. It just looks like it's kind of slightly lit from within, but it's not like too glowy. I'm getting that healthy glow, but it's not so glowy where it's like just looking greasy. And I also feel like you get amazing coverage with this, which is what I love. Like you can go for that sheer finish by applying a small amount on very well hydrated skin or like a hydrating primer, but you can also get a really good full coverage look from this too. Like if you decided you didn't want to use your concealer today, you're still going to get an amazing coverage from this foundation too. And I also feel like it's just really easy to blend in. It's a creamy foundation, so it's not too fluid where it's like it just disappears and you've got this really ultra sheer finish, but it's not so thick where it's like gunky and cakey. It definitely doesn't look cakey on your skin. So that is a makeup essential I would personally recommend. My next makeup essential is a setting powder. Now, why is this so important? This is important because it's going to help to set your base. It's all well and good having a concealer, having a foundation, getting all that nice coverage, but then how are you going to set it? How are you going to lock it so that it doesn't move all day? A setting powder is so important within your kit because you can use it to create a really nice dusting over your base. So if you want a very light kind of like just a very light lock-in, or you can really pack it on with a powder puff to really get that long-lasting finish that's going to last all day, all evening, and it's really going to mattify your face too. So you can do you can get several different finishes from it, and that's why I love a setting powder, because one, it is so important to lock everything in, but two, you can kind of like choose what kind of finish you get with that one product. If you're really concerned about creasing, you can pack it on with the powder puff on the under eyes. If you really want just a very soft finish so you still get that slight glow coming through, you can just dust it on with a brush rather than using a powder puff. But it's so important as part of your kit to have a good setting powder. Now, when it comes to what setting powder I would recommend the Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting powder, because this setting powder has honestly worked so well for me for years. It's a great setting powder that actually does help to keep your makeup in place. And you've got several different colors that you can choose from to complement your skin tone. If you are quite dark, then you can get a much darker shade. If you're a lot lighter than me, you can get a much lighter shade than me. My personal color is banana bread, and it works really well for brightening as well for my skin. But I feel like this powder is amazing. Honestly, it's a great powder, and I love the little net that you have on the applicator. Like, you're not going straight into a powder. There's no holes, so it's not like you're getting a whole load of powder out and then you've got to work to try and make it even on the sponge. The net that is in here is genius, because you literally press your powder in and it kind of gives you that really nice even finish. So I personally love that powder. Like, not all setting powders are the same, by the way. Setting powders are very different. Some honestly are so bad it does not work, and it can even completely ruin your base. So just beware that it isn't a case of using just any setting powder. It is about choosing a good quality setting powder. My next makeup essential is a brow pencil or brow product, any kind of like brow product to help define your brows. Now, why is this important? Yes, it is true. You've probably heard it a million times, but brows do frame your face. If you leave out your brows and you have sparse brows, and maybe you've got perfect brows, in which case, good for you. We don't all have good brows. I would say majority of people need something to help to define their brows a little bit more, whether it is to shape them just a little bit, or whether it is to kind of like fill in the sparse areas and really kind of like just bring your brow together. So when I say a brow product, it could be a brow powder, it could be a brow wax, it could be a colored, like a tinted brow wax, it could be a clear one, it could be a brow pen, whatever it is that suits you, it's an essential. What I'm saying is a brow product is an essential. It's very important to kind of shape your brows, or groom them at least. If you have a lot of hair there, amazing for you, but you're probably going to need to broom them. You're probably going to need to groom them so that they stay in place. If you don't have much hair there like me and it's quite sparse, then it's more so important to kind of shape it and give it that nice shape as it is, more than it is to actually groom them. For me, the product is my Charlotte Tilbury Brow Sheet. Now, the reason I choose this as my specific essential is because, one, it's a pencil and it has the spoolie at the end if you want to brush through your hair, which isn't so important to me. The pencil is very, very good. It is a fine pencil, not so thin that it's going to snap very easily, but it's also not the thinnest pencil around, but it's thin enough where I still get amazing pigment, amazing transfer. So I'm not like trying to draw for ages, trying to get that color to come through. It's immediate. Very smooth, very fluid, easy to apply. But what I do love about this is it is slightly slanted, so you can use the corner of it to get that nice kind of like hair stroke, but you can also use the flatter part of it to really get that kind of color to fill in the sparse areas. And I also like the fact that once this is on, it doesn't fade, it lasts, it stays put. This is probably one of the best quality brow pencils I've used. So that is my makeup essential when it comes to the brow product. My next makeup essential is a mascara. If you want anything for your eyes, you've got to have a mascara, because if you put some eyeshadow on and you don't have mascara on, it's just not gonna look the same. It's gonna look weird. If you do your lashes and you've applied your mascara and that's all you've got on, it is amazing how much of a difference that can make. Like day to day, that is my go-to. So for me, a mascara has to be an essential because it's just something that is very minimal. It's a very quick, easy thing to do. You don't have to mess around with eyeshadow. You don't have to mess around with eyeliner. Everything can stay pretty simple on your eyes, but you can use your mascara. And that's what I love about this. Another reason I do love a mascara as an essential is that there is a lot more that you can actually do with it. And I think I mentioned this in a recent video, but you can use the actual formula in there as an eyeliner, as a smoky eye. So easy, because all it is a cream, like a black cream in there, right? The brush does a lot of the work, the formula does a lot of the work. The two together is what gives you that amazing kind of finish on the lashes. If you were to add a little bit of this on the back of your hand, you can still kind of do an eyeliner look with an eyeliner brush. You can still use a little bit to brush onto, like use your finger to blend it into the lash line, just very, very small amount, and you can get something from it. So as an essential, I think this actually is quite a kind of multitasking product. If you really think outside the box, I mean, I'm a makeup artist, so that's why I think like this. That's why I know that there are so many different things you can do with different products. It's not a case that you have to go out and buy every single thing that a brand tells you need. So for me, a mascara is an essential, and the one that I would recommend that you've seen me holding is the Hourglass Unlocked Mascara, my ultimate favorite mascara at the moment. It has been for a while now. Ever since I went on that Hourglass trip to New York for the Barney's launch, this has been my favorite. It is so good. I can't even believe that it's been out for so long and I haven't used it. So for me, it's still kind of new. What, beginning of the year I started using this? Well, no. Yeah, kind of like mid-year I started using this and I have not looked back. It's such an amazing like mascara. It just glides off when you wet it, like if you're in the shower. It just kind of comes off like it's like a plastic coating, and it works so well. I mean, this is what I've got on now on my eyes and I absolutely love it. So that is my choice when it comes to an essential. Now, another essential that I would recommend is an eye pencil. Now, this can be any kind of color, but I think there is just so much that you can do with an eye pencil because you can create a kind of defined look on your lash line. So you can actually create an eyeliner look, which actually what I've currently got on is a pencil as my eyeliner. I've not got any liquid on, no cream on, it's all a pencil, that's it. And that's why I love it, because there are a few different things you can do with a pencil. So that's why I would say if you're gonna go for an eye makeup product, keep it as an eye pencil, because you want a good eye pencil, by the way. So you could keep, it could be that you have a few, but that's still it's still one essential, right? So it's maybe a brown you keep a black. Those are the two colors I would recommend getting if you're going to keep any colors. But honestly, even a brown is really good as your essential, because what you can do is you can create an eyeliner look by drawing it on as I have currently. But what you can also do is draw it on and then smudge it so that it creates a smoky lash line. You can also draw it all over the entire lid and then smudge it with your finger for a full-on smoky look. So there's a lot that you can do. You can apply it just on your waterline just to deepen and define your eyes a bit without having to apply it on the actual skin, like on the outside. So there is so much that you can do. You can even apply it just at the end and just scrape it out so that you've got a little wing. So I feel like there's so many different looks that you can create with that one product. That's why I would say that's a makeup essential. Now, my personal favorite when it comes to an eye pencil is the YSL Lines Liberated 24-hour waterproof eye pencil. I've got two colors in this. I've got the bronzy shade, which I don't actually know what that's called, but it's a bronze shade, and I've also got the black, and I love it because it's so easy to use, and there's a little brush on the other side as well that you can use to just help to create a liner look or smudge it. But I would say that's my current favorite kind of eye pencil because it's just very easy to use. Next up is a bronzer. Now, this is really important as an essential for your makeup kit because, again, so many different things you can do with it. Now, I don't think you have to go out and buy yourself a contour. I think you can use a bronzer as a contour, but it's very hard to use a contour product as a bronzer. Let me explain that to you for a second. When you go out and you buy a bronzer, you can choose that you can choose the shade you want. You can choose that you've got so many to choose from, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You've got such a variety of colors to choose from, such as, for example, you go to Fenty, you look at all the bronzers that she has, the powder bronzers. You can choose from so many different colors. You can choose more of a warmer shade, more of a deeper shade, slightly more cooler shade. If you are very clever about your choice, choice. You can pick a color that suits you as a bronzer, but it also works really well as a contour. And that's why I think a bronzer is a makeup essential. Now, if you go ahead to another brand and you go and look at their contour powders, you're going to get a very, very small selection to choose from, right? And ultimately what it is the same thing. It's a powdered product, but all they've done is choose specific shades. They've chosen the contour shades for you, minimize the amount that you can choose from, because they seem to think that the only shades are ashy and just grey. And you pick that, you can't really use that as a bronzer because it's not going to really give you that sun-kissed look, right? So that's why I would suggest a bronzer. Now, when I say bronzer, you can opt for a liquid bronzer if you want, completely up to you, whatever preference that you have. And this would, using it as a contour works the same way, to be honest. Now, let me explain what my favorite is. My favorite is the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer, and the shade that I use is Island Ting at the moment. I have a few that I kind of like swap between, but really depends on the type of look I'm going for. But Island Ting seems to be the one that I feel like is universal for me. I can kind of use it for any kind of look. Now, the reason I love this is because it does give me that sun-kissed look, but it also does help to sculpt my features, so I can use it as a contour as well. And I personally love it for just sculpting the cheekbones, along the jawline, a little bit on the perimeter of the face to just warm up my face and give me some dimension to the face. But that is, yeah, that's my choice for a bronzer. Another makeup essential is a blush. Now, why is a blush so important to have as part of your kit? Because that's what's going to give you color. That's what's going to infuse, just boost your skin a little bit with some healthy kind of color into it. Because I do personally love the matte nude, keeping it all brown and earthy look, but I have to admit that when I do apply a blush, I do feel like I all of a sudden get just a burst of kind of energy into my skin, and it just looks a lot more healthy and just like, it's just has a bit more color. It just looks a bit more kind of summery, you know? And I've got blush on at the moment. I've got the one that I'm actually going to share with you what my favorite is currently, but it can, again, do so many different things. It can work as a blush. You can apply it to the eyes as a flush of color. You can apply it to the lips, which is actually the same blush that I've got on, the one that I'm going to share with you. I've got it on my lips as well as my cheeks today. So there's so much you can do with it. It helps to just make your skin look a lot more healthy, bouncy, depending on the texture that you use. Just alive, really. Now, you can use whatever texture you want, powder, cream, liquid, whatever. My personal preference is a kind of cream, so a stick form. Now, my favorite currently is the Rhode Pocket Blush in Freckle. This is amazing. It is so good. Now, I do have another favorite, which is my Milk Makeup Jelly Cooling Water Tint that you've seen me use a million times. If I want that like real burst of energy in my skin and, you know, full on pigment, I'm going to use Milk Makeup. But this currently is my favorite. This is really, really easy to blend, gives me that immediate color, but also blends in perfectly, lasts so well on the skin. And it's probably the only blush that I have used as a lipstick. I've got no lipstick on, I've only got this blush on that actually looks like a lipstick, because sometimes it's quite easy to see that, oh, there's a slight fade, you know, it's a little bit almost too pale sometimes, blushes on the lips, but this I feel like gives such a stunning color. It is amazing. So yeah, I absolutely love that because I just feel like it's really, really stunning color, so easy to blend in, and just makes me look a little bit more alive. Now, another makeup essential is a lip pencil. Now, this is gonna obviously help to shape your lips, and I just feel like it's something that you should have in your kit, because if you've ever not lined your lips, you know how it can look like something's really missing. This helps to basically, obviously, sharpen your lip line, but it also can help to make your lips look bigger depending on where you place the pencil. So a pencil is really going to help to accentuate your lips. So if you apply a lipstick without a lip liner, it's going to look so different than when you actually have a lip liner on. So I do feel like if you're going to go for a lip liner, make sure it is something that you can use as a good daytime color, but you can also kind of like darken it a little bit and just reapply it to deepen it if you want that really strong lip. Now, my personal favorite is my Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat, in particular, the iconic nude shade. Absolutely amazing. hands down, since the day Charlotte Tilbury launched, I have been using this lip pencil, and it is absolutely, it's probably the one product I've used the longest out of everything. And it's amazing. The waxy finish to the pencil is amazing because once you've applied it, it doesn't go. You know those old school pencils, like the old school lip pencils where it's just a pencil, it's like a coloring in pencil, it looks like that. Those pencils are great for the transfer, but they don't last well. This is a waxy finish, so you get the transfer and it lasts really well, and it's waxy, so it keeps everything inside, so you're not going to get that bleeding finish to your lipstick. I love this. Plus I feel like I can deepen it if I want a slightly stronger lip. But honestly, I love applying this and then with my finger just buffing it a little bit so it's not so strong, and it is perfect. Now, my next makeup essential that you should have is some type of lip color, whether it be a lipstick, a liquid lipstick, just a lip color. I think it's important to have a lipstick that is your color, you know, like find your personality of color, like find the color that best suits you. Now, I would say mine is kind of a peachy color, but a slightly deeper brick peach. And a lip color is going to do wonders for you because I just feel like it's really hard to have your signature foundation because no one's going to look at you and say, oh, she always has that foundation on, or she always has that mascara on. No one's going to really be able to tell the brand. But I feel like with a lipstick, you can really create your own signature color. Like, okay, but I think based on the videos that I have on, like, say, Instagram or TikTok, it's pretty obvious to see when I'm wearing my lipstick already, it's a similar color. It's kind of that really nice kind of like subtle peachy brick color, which isn't too deep. So I found my signature color, and I know what different lipsticks I can mix together to create that, or what lipstick, that one lipstick I can use that gives me that color immediately. Try it, have a look through your makeup and just see, is there something that, you know, what suits you? What is your everyday, if you could wear one lipstick, what color would you wear for the rest of your life? Like, I know mine. And mine is the Rare Beauty Lip Souffle in Brave. This is my favorite color. And I have actually used other, I've literally nearly dropped that there. I have used other brands which are very similar to this. So if this was to discontinue tomorrow, it's not a problem because I know I can create that same lip color from other lipsticks that I've used prior to finding this, you know, and it's a very similar color. So it's really not about finding that one lipstick that you can't live without and you're like, oh my God, what would I do if it actually wasn't there anymore? It's about figuring out what your signature color is. And you can always create that color. So don't ever be afraid of lipsticks being discontinued. You can create the color very easily by mixing a few together. But ultimately, this is my favorite. This is the one that I would go for. Now, those are all of my makeup essentials that I believe you should have within your kit, including why you need them and also the product that I personally would recommend. Now, I'm gonna add one extra bonus essential here, and this is a luxury option. So this is if you feel that you want that one product that you want to add to your makeup essentials and you want to splurge on it a bit, whether it be splurge or whether it be a drugstore, absolutely fine. The product is an eyeshadow palette. This is going to be something that I feel is that kind of like I said, little luxury added onto your makeup essentials. The reason that I'm saying this is because there's, again, so many different looks that you could create from that one palette. So this is going to give you the chance to be able to create a smoky eye, whether it be brown, it could be black, it could be blue, it could be green. So it really depends on the type of palette that you go for. If you want to have the option to create so many different types of eye looks using so many different colors, then obviously go for a colorful palette, something that has the basics, like the black, the browns, and then also a variety of colors that kind of like, you know, is more suited to your personality or the type of looks that you like. Personally, I'm going to recommend the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. Now you can either go for the original or the neutral palette, it's up to you. I personally would probably go for the neutral because I feel like I can still create a really nice brownish smoky eye and it not look overly cool and still use the other colors within this palette and have it look cool, so more on the neutral side than warm. But I know I can create a nice smoky eye using black, grays, browns in there. These are all the colors that I like, that match my personality. So I don't personally like to have overly bright, bold eyes, so that's why that suits me. But yeah, that is that last bonus luxury product I'd recommend as part of your makeup essentials. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video today. It's a bit different. I wanted to just go through what you would need as part of your kit and yeah, give you my personal preference and my advice on it. Don't forget, I do have an online publication called the Beauty Breakfast Club, which is a beauty community that I have created and is growing rapidly, and I want to see you over there because honestly I get to chat to you a bit more there too. And it's basically a magazine which is online. You get newsletters every week, 3 newsletters a week. They're all written by me, everything about beauty, product recommendations, product reviews, new products that are out that I may not have even mentioned on this channel yet, hacks, tips, everything, hair, makeup, nails, anything to do with beauty. You want to head on over there. I think you're going to like it. There are 2 options of subscription. One is free, which gives you access to most of the site, but the other is paid, which is only the equivalent of a coffee a month. That's it. It's your way of helping me to reinvest back into my business, because obviously I don't charge you for anything over here on YouTube. But with that, you get access to the whole site. You also get a chat room for me and you, and you get an extra newsletter a week. So that would be amazing if you could head on over and show your support there. I also have another YouTube channel, which is vlogs and a mix of podcasts, which I host with my husband. You might be interested in that. It's all about married life, relatable topics, very real. So you might enjoy that too. Now, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.